Welcome to an introduction to automatic enrolment and Sage 1. Firstly, we'll cover what is automatic enrolment. Automatic enrolment applies to every business in the UK and is regulated by the Pensions Regulator, also known as TPR. People are living longer, yet too many people are under-saving or not saving at all for what could be a long retirement. Automatic enrolment means that by law, every employer with at least one member of staff must enrol their employees who meet certain criteria into a workplace pension scheme. Automatic enrolment legislation is available on the TPR website, and part of their role is to make sure that employers are complying with their duties. The law came into force in 2012. Employers have been introduced gradually according to the size of their business, with the larger companies staging first. All employers will be compliant by February 2018. Now we'll look at your staging date. Your staging date is set by the Pensions Regulator, and this is the date that the new law applies to your company. The Pensions Regulator will write to employers at least twice as their staging date approaches. This will usually be at approximately 12 and 3 months prior to your staging date. You must be fully ready for your staging date by making sure you have a pension scheme in place. Prior to your staging date, it's a good idea to raise awareness of automatic enrolment with your workforce. This will let them know how they'll be affected and make the transition as smooth as possible for your business. To find out your staging date, enter your PAYE reference number into the tool provided on TPR's website. You can also find a link to TPR's staging date tool within your Sage 1 software. Simply click on your Summary tab and you'll see an Automatic Enrolment and Pensions section on the right-hand side. Use the staging date link to easily access TPR's website. We'll now look at postponement. Postponement suspends your automatic enrolment duties temporarily. There are two types of postponement. These are employer staging date and worker postponement. Staging date postponement allows you to suspend your duty of assessment temporarily for a maximum of 3 months from your staging date. It is important to remember that postponement does not remove your responsibilities for automatic enrolment completely. And even if you choose to postpone, your employees still have the right to opt into your pension scheme from your original staging date. Worker postponement means that you are able to postpone individuals on their first date of employment for up to 3 months. You might choose to use worker postponement due to probationary periods or to avoid enrolling temporary members of staff. Communication is very important, and you must write to the staff who you're postponing within 6 weeks from the date the postponement starts. Now we'll have a look at pension schemes. You'll need to find a provider who will supply you with a qualifying pension scheme. Not every pension provider can provide a scheme that qualifies, therefore it is important to do your research. If you need help choosing a provider, you can seek advice from your financial advisor, accountant, or the Pensions Regulator. Unfortunately, your payroll provider cannot provide you with any financial advice when it comes to choosing a pension provider. Once you have your provider in place, it's important to understand what they need from you prior to your staging date. For example, they might ask for a list of your current employees. You'll also need to know how they'd like your employee information sent to them once you start enrolling your employees into the pension scheme. To set up or review your pension scheme in Sage 1, go to Pensions and then Review Pension Arrangements. Next, we will look at assessing your workforce. To comply with automatic enrolment, you will need to assess your staff every time they are paid. You'll need to start assessing your staff from the first pay period that includes your staging date. From your summary screen in Sage 1, click on the Pensions tab and then Assess your workforce. Assessing your workforce in Sage 1 shows you all of your employees, their age, pensionable earnings, and their worker category. It is very important that you do not miss your first assessment. This would mean that you aren't complying with your automatic enrolment duties and you could be fined by the pensions regulator. It will also mean that your employees have not paid into the pension when they should have. When you assess your employees, they will fall into one of three categories. These are eligible job holders, non-eligible job holders, and entitled workers. Now we'll look at these three categories in more detail. Eligible job holders are aged between 22 and state pension age. They earn £10,000 or more per year. This will be prorated depending on your employee's pay frequency, and this could be subject to change if the pensions regulator decide to review the qualifying criteria. These eligible employees should be automatically enrolled into your pension scheme. Non-eligible job holders either don't earn enough to qualify as an eligible employee, or they are below the age of 22 or above state pension age. These employees will not be automatically enrolled into your pension. The third category is entitled workers. Your employees may fall into this category because they simply don't earn enough. You do not need to automatically enroll these employees into the pension scheme. What if one of your employees has been automatically enrolled, however they don't want to be part of the pension? When your eligible employees have been automatically enrolled into the pension scheme, they have the right to opt out. They can opt out by contacting your pension provider. Once the provider has the opt-out request, they will let the employer know. It is against the law to influence employees to opt out of the pension scheme. Your non-eligible job holders do have the right to opt into your pension, even though they haven't been automatically enrolled. They would contact their employer to opt into the pension. All of this information will be explained to your employees in the correspondence you or your pension provider send to them. Your entitled workers can ask to join your pension scheme. Now we look at the minimum contributions. Minimum contributions apply and are being phased in over the next 4 years. Employer contributions apply if an employee is automatically enrolled into your pension scheme. The minimum contribution that is required is currently 2%, of which at least 1% must come from the employer. Minimum amounts will rise to up to 8% by the 1st of October 2018, of which 3% must come from the employer. You can see this information in more detail below. So how will the pensions regulator know that you are complying with your duties? Once you have staged onto automatic enrolment, you need to provide the pensions regulator with information on how you have met your obligations. You must do this within 5 calendar months of your staging date. It might be a good idea to start collating the relevant information as soon as you start planning for your staging date. The pensions regulator do have a handy checklist to help you compile this information, and it's important to familiarise yourself with this checklist. This can be found on the pensions regulator website. The pensions regulator do have the power to penalise companies for not complying with automatic enrolment. The fines can vary and range from fixed penalties of £400 up to much larger size penalties into the thousands. With good planning and correct running of automatic enrolment, this should never be an issue for you. The pensions regulator are there to help, and their overall approach is to get you into a position where you do comply. Stage 1 can help you get ready for and then manage your automatic enrolment responsibilities. All you need is your staging date to get you started. Then the software will start counting down for you and guide you through a step-by-step process. Once you have found your pension provider and the pension scheme you will be using, you can enter this into Stage 1. Stage 1 will also provide you with communications to send to your employees. Communicating the right information at the right time to your employees is very important. This will keep you compliant with automatic enrolment. Please remember that we are here to help you. We have a dedicated support team who are here 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns you may have. You can call us on the Sage One support line on 0845 111 6611, or you can email us at support@sageone.com.